Chapter 1. An Annoying Mutt.
Mom?
Eric bit his trembling lip.
Mom?
His mother smiled weakly.
Come a little closer. I want to see those gorgeous eyes.
He took a shaky step forward, then another, and another.
Mom?
Eric's mother reached out and gently grasped his hand in her own.
It's all gonna be okay.
But...
She tightened her grip.
Eric, listen to me. Death is not something to be feared. It's beautiful. It brings peace and relief. And it brings us all closer together.
But, Mom...
Eric tried to look away, but his mother cradled his cheek in her hand and gazed deeply into his eyes.
Eric, I see such a strong, brave elf in you, just waiting to come to the surface. But I also see a deep fear in you. You fear death, but you fear loss more than anything. I don't want to leave my precious little boy like that.
Her eyes glistened with tears.
Be strong. Control your fear. Don't let it control you. I know that you want...
A thudding at the door caught her attention. She let out a shuddering sigh.
Eric, you better hurry and see your father. We can finish this tomorrow.
Eric nodded, wiping his eyes as he turned to go. His mother smiled as she closed her eyes.
Stay strong, Eric. Stay strong.
Eric's eyes shot open. Something's here. He quietly rose to his feet and drew the twin spheres from his cloak. Whatever it was fast. The trees swayed in the wind, the sound of rustling leaves seemingly coming from all sides at once. Eric let out a sigh. Might as well get this over with. He closed his eyes. A single crunch. A single snap. A single... Eric's eyes shot open as he whirled around, narrowly deflecting a vicious strike aimed at his neck. Oh, looks like this one ain't playing around. He dodged a slash from behind, countering with a thrust of his fist as the assailant leapt backwards with a deep, guttural growl, eyes glowing in the moonlight. Eric's eyes were beginning to adjust to the darkness around him, and he examined the would-be assassin curiously. The humanoid figure boasted sharply pointed furry ears and a thick, woolly tail protruding from below her long, leathery vest. Her muscular form wasn't much shorter than Eric was, but it still managed to exert an intimidating aura, despite its small stature. Eric frowned thoughtfully. She had to be one of the Moonshifters, but then why wasn't she fully metamorphized? The sun hadn't come up yet, so her body should have... Ah, he smirked. So you're one of those half-blooded bastards. The beast narrowed her eyes and growled, her voice laced with malice. Eric grinned. Sorry, I don't speak mongrel. The Moonshifter shot forward with a heavy thrust, but Eric quickly rolled under her attack, summoning his twin spheres to his side. Looks like I hit a nerve. The Moonshifter spun around to face him, tail twitching. She bent over toward the ground, muscles tensing as she prepared to charge him for a second time. Eric just watched with a bemused look. Boom! The ground erupted beneath the Moonshifter's feet as she rocketed towards him, her intense strength sending involuntary shivers down Eric's spine. Her fist cut through the air towards him and... Fetch. The two metallic spheres shot into the Moonshifter's chest, the blast pushing her back. It wasn't far, but it was enough. Eric tore forward, clenching his fists tightly. Night-night, Fido. Eric threw his full weight to the attack as his fist slammed into the Moonshifter's exposed chin with a satisfying crack. The Moonshifter grinned as she turned to stare down at him. Eric took a step back. Crap, these magicless demons are strong as hell. Damn it, you old hag. Why'd I have to go and accept your friggin' advice? The moonshifter lunged at him, striking in a flurry of savage blows. It's getting faster. The beast wound up another attack, eyes laced with killing intent. Crap, I gotta... Eric threw himself out of the way, just as the moonshifter's fist shot forward, blowing a hole straight through the thick oak tree behind him. Eric felt the trickle of sweat roll down his forehead. Damn! Can you roll over too? Eric narrowly avoided a barrage of heavy attacks, his mind racing for a solution. It's fast. There's no way it could be as agile as it is and still... He grinned. That's it. The joints! Eric dodged to the side, his hand shooting out to grab the moonshifter's vulnerable arm. She pulled her arm back instinctively, glaring viciously at his outstretched fingers. Ah, you're smarter than you look. Can you play dead? No? Want me to teach you how? Eric leapt forward, feigning a frontal jab as he manipulated the twin spheres behind her. Gotcha. With a flick of his wrists, both spinning orbs slammed into her knees from behind, forcing her off balance. Without missing a beat, Eric lunged towards her, catching her face in his palm, and smashed her head backwards into the ground. Eric glanced down at the moonshifter to find her shaking in... excitement?
Excitement! Master is strong!
The moonshifter's tail wagged enthusiastically. Thud, thud, thud. All right, Eric groaned. Why'd I have to end up with one of you strength-loving freaks? The moonshifter looked up at him, her eyes sparkling.
Win needs Master's help.
Well, I'm out. The moonshifter, Win, stared at Eric blankly.
But Win is being hunted for being a half-breed.
Eric sighed, cutting her off. Yeah, I don't give a crap. I got my own thing going on, so you can just screw off and... stop wagging your damn tail against my leg. It's annoying.
Shock! Win is speechless.
Clearly not. Eric rose to his feet, summoning the twin spheres back to his cloak. Win just watched. Eric eyed her cynically as he slid his pack over his shoulder. Don't even think about following me. Her eyes lit up.
Idea!
Crap. Eric pushed his way through the dense forest. He usually quite enjoyed the silence that the woods afforded him and would relish the opportunity to silently hunt the wildlife there. Usually. The key word, though, was silence. You know I can hear you, right? There was a sudden thud, and then...
Denial. Win is perfectly hidden and silent. Master has no idea where Win is.
You're right behind the tree to my left.
Shock!
Eric ran his hand through his unkempt hair. You're not going to leave me alone, are you? He sighed. Fine then. Come on out. I have a proposal. Win's ears shot straight up, and her tail wagged furiously.
Embarrassment. Win is not currently looking for a mate.
I meant a deal, you damn mutt! Eric's eye twitched in irritation as he tried to keep himself from systematically disassembling the moonshifter's face. If you can manage to hunt and bring down a wild three-pronged pitch bear within 3 weeks, then I'll help you out. Win's eyes sparkled in excitement.
Delight! Win can stay?
Eric eyed her maliciously. But if you fail to bring it back to me by then, well, he grinned. You can just screw off. Oh, and you'll have to completely shave the fur off that annoying tail of yours. So what'll it be? You in?
Win will catch meat like Great Hunter.
Without another word, the clueless moonshifter cheerfully pranced away to look for her prey, tail quivering in excitement. Eric watched her disappear into the trees with a satisfied smirk. That idiot. 3-pronged pitch bears are practically extinct. There's no way in hell that mutt will be able to track down a creature that hasn't been seen for centuries, let alone in a mere 3 weeks. Man, this is too easy. All distractions eliminated, Eric continued forward, mind solely focused on the mission ahead. He sighed. This had better be worth it.
Did you make a decision?
Aldrida turned to face Eric, thoughtfully awaiting his answer.
It could prove very beneficial.
Yeah. Thought I'd get it over with. She glanced worriedly at the young elf.
Eric, this could be exactly what you've been looking for. Whether you want to admit it or not, you've been given another chance to heal, to be something greater. Ever since your mother...
Give it a rest, old hag. You really think I want to go back to how...
Yes! You've lived your life in fear, too afraid to get attached to others. Afraid of losing them. You never left that room. You're still trapped in that isolation.
Aldrida placed her hand on Eric's shoulder.
You said you felt it.
She took a deep breath.
Loss. The pain of losing someone. Someone that you had opened your heart up to. Someone you had begun to accept.
Aldrida tightened her grasp.
Eric, loss is an important part of life. Death is an inevitability that we have to accept. If we let fear of it sever our bonds and lock ourselves away just to try and escape its touch, then when the time finally does come and we're left all alone, what benefit would it have earned us? We would only lose the memories and experiences that could have been made.
Eric sighed. You've got some pretty friggin' strict terms, old hag. Aldrida cracked a smile.
Maybe. But this could be the opportunity you've been looking for. A chance to find yourself, to rediscover the self you thought you'd left behind. A chance to finally live again.
Her expression became more serious.
A person who merely seeks to take life can never truly save it. One who disregards another's life cannot truly value the lives of those he wishes to protect.
Can it with all the idealistic crap. You want me to be a friggin' pacifist? Aldrida furrowed her brow.
No, I never said anything of the sort. I simply issued a challenge. To strike without the intent to kill. To disarm, not dismember. To value life once again.
She grinned.
And if you're the Eric I know, you won't step down from a challenge.
Eric rolled his eyes, but couldn't keep the corner of his mouth from curling up into a smile. Were the items I requested forged successfully? Eric ran his hand down the pack hanging over his shoulder and smirked. I can't wait to test these babies out. He had been making good time ever since Wynne took off to start her pointless little hunt, and Eric was pretty sure he'd reach the mountains within the next few days if he kept it up. The wind was blowing, the birds were chirping, even the leaves were cracking. Footsteps. Eric threw himself behind the nearest tree. Thanks to Aldrida's goading, he'd accepted her disadvantageous terms. Still, Eric quietly drew out the twin spheres. Spikes retracted. I may not be able to start a fight, but I'll sure as hell be the one to end it. The footsteps were getting closer now, and he could hear voices. Moonshifters. 2 of them. The little one came through here. The scent isn't much more than a day old. There's another one here. An elf. It's nearby.
Ignore it. They're clearly heading in opposite directions. Besides, it's not uncommon for them to travel through these woods.
But couldn't we tell her the little one escaped? The other moonshifter let out a shocked gasp.
You idiot! The Crimson Witch would string us up by our entrails. We can't let the little one get away. Come on, or we'll lose her scent.
More footsteps, then silence. Eric waited for a moment, then left his hiding spot behind the tree. Crimson Witch, huh? He bit his lip. Could this have anything to do with the corruption? No, Claude said there wasn't anything left of it. Then again, if there is... I don't have the friggin' time to deal with this crap. For now, I'm gonna have to find somewhere secluded from those damn freaks. Eric made his way through the trees, the thick foliage growing denser with each step. Twigs snapped methodically beneath his feet. Leaves rustled softly in the gentle breeze. Owls let out contented cries. Eric sighed. The moon was already back out in full force, its milky rays refracting through the leathery leaves as they wafted down to the shadows below. The trees grew closer and closer together the farther he went, choking out the meager light. Eric stopped to survey his surroundings. Damn, this looks like the best it's gonna get. There wasn't much room, but it didn't look like he'd be finding a clearing anytime soon, so this would have to do. This truck is turning out to be way more trouble than I signed up for. Eric let out a yawn as he lowered his pack to the ground and rummaged through it. Good. Looks like everything's still in one piece. He popped out a horse steak loaf and broke off a chunk. The spiced meat's tender flesh gave a salty zest to the sweet, airy crumb it was entombed in, while the thin, cheesy crust oozed a savory basil. Eric couldn't help but lick his lips. Not half bad if I say so myself. He finished his meal and slid the remaining rations into the bag. His task finished, Eric lay down on the dry grass beneath him. The hard ground felt almost nostalgic. Eric let out a bitter chuckle. Never thought I'd feel nostalgic about that hellhole. He rolled onto his side, ignoring the dull ache spreading through his shoulders and down his back. His eyelids felt heavy despite it all. The old hag's restrictions are way too damn exhausting. I know I shouldn't have accepted her terms. Next time I'll just... Tired of resisting the night's lull, Eric let himself succumb to its welcoming darkness.